Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Any state or process known through the senses rather than by intuition or reasoning. A remarkable development. A natural prolongation or projection from a part of an organism, either animal or plant. A bony process. A writ issued by authority of law usually compels the defendant's attendance in a civil suit. Failure to appear results in a default judgment against the defendant. Shape, form, or improve a material. Process iron. Deliver a warrant or summons to someone. He was processed by the sheriff. A sustained phenomenon, or one marked by gradual changes through a series of states. Events now in process. Institute legal proceedings against. File a suit against. He was warned that the district attorney would process him. March in a procession. They processed into the dining room. A particular course of action intended to achieve a result. It was a process of trial and error. Psychology. The performance of some composite cognitive activity. An operation that affects mental contents. The process of thinking. A mental process that you are not directly aware of. The process of denial. Subject to a process or treatment, with the aim of readying for some purpose, improving, or remedying a condition. Process cheese. Deal with in a routine way. Process alone. Perform mathematical and logical operations on data, according to programmed instructions in order to obtain the required information. The results of the elections were still being processed when he gave his acceptance speech. A sustained phenomenon, or one marked by gradual changes through a series of states. Processing a photosensitive material in order to make an image visible. The development and printing of his pictures took only 2 hours. The act of making some area of land or water more profitable or productive or useful. The development of Alaskan resources. A process in which something passes by degrees to a different stage, especially a more advanced or mature stage. The development of his ideas took many years. Biology. The process of an individual organism growing organically. A purely biological unfolding of events involved in an organism changing gradually from a simple to a more complex level. He proposed an indicator of osseous development in children. Act of improving by expanding or enlarging or refining. He congratulated them on their development of a plan to meet the emergency. A district that has been developed to serve some purpose. Such land as practical for small park developments. A recent event that has some relevance for the present situation. Recent developments in Iraq. A state in which things are improving. The result of developing, as in the early part of a game of chess. After he saw the latest development, he changed his mind and became a supporter. Music. The section of a composition or movement, especially in sonata form, where the major musical themes are developed and elaborated. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. The magnetic effect was greater when the rod was lengthwise. Of a law, having legal validity. The law is still in effect. Produce. The central meaning or theme of a speech or literary work. An outward appearance. She retained that bold effect in her reproductions of the original painting. Act so as to bring into existence. Effect a change. An impression, especially one that is artificial or contrived. He just did it for effect. A symptom caused by an illness or a drug. The effects of sleep loss. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. He acted very wise after the event. A special set of circumstances. In that event, the first possibility is excluded. A phenomenon located at a single point in spacetime, the fundamental observational entity in relativity theory. Something that happens at a given place and time. An unknown and unpredictable phenomenon that leads to a favorable outcome. It was as if fortune guided his hand. Your overall circumstances or condition in life, including everything that happens to you. Whatever my fortune may be. An unknown and unpredictable phenomenon that causes an event to result one way rather than another. A large amount of wealth or prosperity. Take a risk in the hope of a favorable outcome. A source of danger, a possibility of incurring loss or misfortune. Drinking alcohol is a health hazard. Put at risk. An unknown and unpredictable phenomenon that causes an event to result one way rather than another. Put forward, of a guess, in spite of possible refutation. An obstacle on a golf course. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. The income or profit arising from such transactions as the sale of land or other property. Circulate or distribute or equip with. Issue a new uniform to the children. Come out of. Water issued from the hole in the wall. The act of issuing printed materials. One of a series published periodically. She found an old issue of the magazine in her dentist's waiting room. An opening that permits escape or release. The canyon had only one issue. The becoming visible. Prepare an issue for public distribution or sale. Supplies, as food or clothing or ammunition, issued by the government. The immediate descendants of a person. He died without issue. The act of providing an item for general use or for official purposes, usually in quantity. A new issue of stamps. Make out an issue. Some situation or event that is thought about. An important question that is in dispute and must be settled. The issue could be settled by requiring public education for everyone. Bring out an official document, such as a warrant. Movement upward in virtue of lightness. The act of raising a body from the ground by presumably spiritualistic means. The phenomenon of a person or thing rising into the air by apparently supernatural means. An unknown and unpredictable phenomenon that leads to a favorable outcome. It was my good luck to be there. Your overall circumstances or condition in life, including everything that happens to you. The luck of the Irish. An unknown and unpredictable phenomenon that causes an event to result one way rather than another. Bad luck caused his downfall. After death, the soul begins a new cycle of existence in another human body. All phenomena that are not artificial. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. Something that results. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. His decision had depressing consequences for business. Having important effects or influence. Decisions of great consequence are made by the president himself. The outcome of an event especially is relative to an individual. A possibility due to a favorable combination of circumstances. Now is your chance. Come upon, as if by accident, meet with. She chanced upon an interesting book in the bookstore the other day. Occurring or appearing or singled out by chance. A chance occurrence. The possibility of future success. Take a risk in the hope of a favorable outcome. A measure of how likely it is that some event will occur. A number expressing the ratio of favorable cases to the whole number of cases possible. If that phone call is for me, chances are it's my wife. An unknown and unpredictable phenomenon that causes an event to result one way rather than another. We ran into each other by pure chance. A risk involving danger. You take a chance when you let her drive. Be the case by chance. I chanced to meet my old friend in the street. The rhythmic contraction and expansion of the arteries with each beat of the heart. Electronics. A sharp transient wave in the normal electrical state, or a series of such transients. The pulsations seem to be coming from a star. A periodically recurring phenomenon that alternately increases and decreases some quantity. The revival of learning and culture. A spiritual enlightenment causing a person to lead a new life. After death, the soul begins a new cycle of existence in another human body. A second or new birth. A phenomenon that follows and is caused by some previous phenomenon. Produce as a result or residue. Issue or terminate, in a specified way, state, etc., end. Result in tragedy. A statement that solves a problem or explains how to solve the problem. He computed the result to 4 decimal places. The semantic role of the noun phrase whose referent exists only by virtue of the activity denoted by the verb in the clause. Something that results. He listened for the results on the radio. Come about or follow as a consequence. Nothing will result from this meeting.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.